I-34 male caught my GF-39 female in bed with another man. She 100,000% insists that it wasn't what it looked like, and I want to believe her, but I feel like I'm just letting my love for her blind me to her otherwise obvious deception, manipulation, and her gaslighting. Reddit, please help me see things clearly. I-34 male caught my GF-39 female in bed with another man. She 100,000% insists that it wasn't what it looked like, and I want to believe her, but I feel like I'm just letting my love for her blind me to her otherwise obvious deception, manipulation, and her gaslighting. Here we go. A few nights ago, I went to her house because we had plans to spend the evening discussing some recent issues we'd been having. It was nothing too serious for me, and she had not indicated that there was anything seriously wrong once, so I pretty much expected to have a heart-to-heart and then spend the night loving her. For a few hours prior, I texted her something along the lines of, "Hey, what's the plan for this evening?" This was followed by another two over the course of the hour. She naps and sleeps pretty deeply sometimes, so I just went to her house, per the informal plan. Upon arrival, I put my key in the door and it appears that the lock had been changed, rendering the key obsolete. I knock several times, then ring the bell a few times. Nothing happens. Then I call and get 2 rings, then voicemail, suggesting it was rejected. I called again and this time it was rejected a bit faster. I checked the Find My Phone app, since we shared locations with each other, and the phone was showing as inside the house. New lock, lights off, no answer. I got creeped out and worried about her and her children. I walked around back and tried one of the ground level's windows, which let me into the dining room, then proceeded to her room upstairs. I reach out to touch her figure under the blanket and she is actually he, saying WTF man? It was either go nuclear or GTFO, and trying to avoid prison, I opted for GTFOING to my sister's house just a few houses down the street. Fortunately the family was there and I had good emotional support. I received no contact from her, other than the picture of the open window, which came after 2 freaking hours and only in response to me finally texting her to ask, "Do you really not have anything to say?" At this point, I lost it and delivered a very definitive blow to her psychologically, agreeing with something her ex said a few years about that she was very self-conscious about. As a side question, I hope I can get thoughts on how inappropriate it is to yell hurtful things at someone you just caught in bed with another man that has not bothered to apologize or explain themselves. I am apparently a disgusting human being that is at least as outrageous as me finding her with him. The next day, I didn't get to speak with her until late afternoon when she finally responded to my messages and unblocked my number. It was blocked because I was so hurtful with my mean words. Here's her answer to my "what in the holy fuck?" He is a friend of the family since childhood. He recently came out as gay, and had just moved to our city and messaged her to reconnect, platonically, so you see, it simply wasn't cheating. Even if it was, him shirtless, me unable to verify anything else before red spirals started to swirl, I never would have considered that cheating and I wouldn't have expected you to be upset by it, and then we snuggled, and I just felt like you lost interest in me, so I wanted to feel that human connection and finally if you had been there, I wouldn't have wanted that affection. She denied he had his shirt off until I showed her a picture in her phone of him shirtless, though completely under the covers, save for his shoulders, so maybe, just maybe she could have not known, and that he took his shirt off while she slept. That's what she claims. This lack of affection, BTW, has me sleeping in her bed 3 or 4 nights per week, falling asleep on her chest with our arms wrapped around each other, for like at least an hour or 2 every night. We have sex 2x a week on average, which hardly seems like a dead bedroom to me, and when we bang she says it's amazing every time. Her life is a mess, she's getting evicted, doesn't have a job, and so on. I have never judged her for this. She made some mistakes elsewhere and asked me when we got together to believe her that this is a low point in her life, for understandable reasons and mostly reasonable reasons. As we've ridden out the chaos of her circumstances, she has worn me out in a lot of ways. I love her for many reasons and was totally willing to stand by her side when she's not performing how she wants to and is capable, and get her back up and running. She'd tell you I'm the most positive force in her life and give her confidence. I love this woman and her kids and don't want things to be over, and I think it's allowing her to gaslight me into believing things I should know better than to believe. Is it even remotely possible she wasn't fucking this dude? If she spent more 4/5 of her words on how badly I hurt her, and maybe 1/5 or so apologizing to me, is it possible she doesn't even love me at all? Do phones ring in such a way that what I heard as call rejection could have been something else? Do believe her, or do I run as fast as possible, or something in between? I've got more to say, but I'm just too tired to go further right now. Depending on reactions, I'll post part 2. Thanks for sharing your thoughts, everyone.